I moved to St. George in 1978 from Ohio, more or less, and I worked for the National Park Service. But I ended up living in St. George area and doing construction, so it became aware of it. I went to Downwinder meetings in the 1980s where a lot of those people died. I met my girlfriend, Andrea Gentry. She was from Richfield, Utah. We moved from St. George to Moab in 1992. She was born in Richfield, Utah in 1952. She was a little girl in Beaver Mountain living on a farm in the 1950s up in the mountain. She drank cow's milk, which pretty much I think gave her the radiation poisoning. Her mother died horribly from it in 1985 or 86. Andrea was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1995. And she died in 1999. She got it. She was 45 years old with a 4-year-old boy. She never drank or smoked, and it completely devastated everything. She suffered horribly. Her young daughter in Salt Lake was diagnosed with benign tumors in her 20s. So they got hit really hard with it, and I just want to make sure that Andrea Gentry and her family's name is never forgotten. You know, I forget her name. She was born, they were old pioneer stock. Like I said, Gentry Mountain over by Price is named after their family, and they were just good Mormon family, you know, and I think she was a nurse. That's right, she was a nurse in Richfield. And those poor people had no idea. I mean, those clouds came right through on top of them, and the government gave them light warnings, you know. Well, in St. George, it was kind of like, don't talk about it. You know, we did the meetings and people talk about it, but it was not like this horror that people couldn't face up to in the St. George area and Richfield. It was the unspoken fear, you know. I know we had a couple of vents go off. I'd work outside in construction in St. George, and I remember one day it was really, really windy. Then I went home and the national news said that one of the bombs had vented in the 80s. Could have been 84, 83, I forget. And yeah, kind of spooky. And once again, I know that plutonium is, you know, molecules will kill 1,000 people. And I know this St. George area is still laced with plutonium and, you know, particles in and around the buildings, because they can't get rid of that. I mean, if it lodges up under a shingle or something, it's there, you know. So yeah, what a mess it is. I was hoping humanity to learn something. I hope.